The War Veterans Minister Predrag Matić has said he would report to the police the threats he'd been receiving over the weekend following the revelation that the Disabled War Veterans Association President Đuro Glogoški had not been spending nights in the tent erected by the protesters in front of the Defense Ministry, but was rather staying at a home near Zagreb dedicated to disabled war veterans to stay at when they are seeking medical help in Zagreb. The veterans' protest has been continuing for nearly 6 months, and they remain adamant in their demand that the War Veterans Minister and his associates step down. Due to his failing health, brought on by a hunger strike at the Remetinec prison, where he is kept in investigative custody, Branimir Glavaš, who's been sentenced for war crimes and had spent 8 years in jail, and who is on a hunger strike, has been transported to the prison hospital and is said to be poorly. Glavaš has been on a hunger strike for the past 25 days. The Serb Radical Party leader Vojislav Šešelj has been ordered to immediately return to ICTY custody after such a ruling by the Court's Appeal Council. Šešelj had been granted temporary compassionate release in November of 2014 due to serious health ailments, but has been spending his days in Belgrade actively spreading hate speech. The new passenger terminal of Gaženica in Zadar opened today. The project efforts lasted for more than a decade, with the state injecting about $1.5 billion kuna into it. However, the residents of the islands of Ugljan and Pashman had recently held a protest disgruntled over the fact that the ferries taking them to their islands have been moved to the new passenger terminal. The Finance Minister Boris Lalovac and the Vice President of the European Investment Bank Dario Scampietzo have signed a contract today between the Republic of Croatia and the European Investment Bank for a project of national co-financing of EU funds. The European Investment Bank will be deciding on Tuesday on which projects from the so-called Juncker's plan are to be first to be funded, among them possibly the Dubrovnik Airport project. Citizens of the eastern town of Labin and the surrounding area voted at a referendum yesterday in which they voiced whether they were in favor or against the proposed construction of a coal-fired thermal power plant in the nearby town of Plomin. The referendum was not a success, with less than 50% of voters turning out. However, the referendum outcome is not binding in any way, and the project is already well underway, with local officials still intending to pressure the government into changing the main energy source from coal to natural gas. And in sports, in the 6th round of the Basketball Champions League action, Cedevita has beaten Alcar 99-46. This was a game played in advance due to Cedevita's obligations in the final ABA League tournament. And the weather: sunny spells in most sections of the country, but some cloud development with the possibility of rain also possible. Moderate to strong southeasterly winds along the coast, particularly in the south, turning to strong northwesterly and northerly in the open by the evening. Bora expected along the shore overnight. Top temperatures expected to range between 13 and 18 degrees, possibly higher in central Croatia. Tuesday to see unseasonably high temperatures, but Wednesday cooler with northerly winds expected. Changeably cloudy with intermittent rain towards the end of Tuesday and on Wednesday. More sunny weather along the coast, but some wetness possible, particularly on Wednesday. Tuesday to see moderate to strong southeasterly winds that will turn to Bora on Wednesday, bringing in somewhat cooler air.